Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasir, and what do we have on tap for today? Well, we are continuing our debate series. It's between Dinesh D'Souza, the double D, this was at Politicon, and Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks, who we affectionately like to call the Young Jerks, folks. It was a very long debate. We spliced it and diced it. We put it in different parts. I believe this one is going to be part 10. So let's get to the debate between the double D and Cenk the Jenk at Politicon.
You didn't watch my shows, did you? I don't cover for that. In fact, I cover that all the time.
Well, you're covering for it tonight.
No, I was in the middle of saying about how corrupt the Clinton Foundation is when you interrupted me.
Okay,
so
let me ask you
this. That's exactly my point, guys. So it is. What he's talking about is right. They do. That's why the Bernie Sanders campaign said, you think that Goldman Sachs is paying Hillary Clinton $225,000 for their health? No, they're looking to corrupt her. They did that 3 times, $675,000. Millions upon millions going to Hillary Clinton, going to Bill Clinton. Okay, so my point, but Dinesh, yes, they can do that, Dinesh, but if Wolfpack wins and we get that constitutional amendment, you're going to have public financing that says, yes, Hillary Clinton, you can have that corruption, but we are going to have an even debate. So you will have X amount of money, and your Republican counterpart will have X amount of money, and we will hear you both out without one of you buying a larger mic.
Right. So this is exactly what Hillary says. I call it the stop me before I steal again principle. Hillary says, I would like to be honest, but we are in a dishonest process. And therefore, my dishonesty is simply playing along with the system as it exists now. And so therefore, to propose some hypothetical future rule when we are dealing with the queen of corruption right now, the question I want Cenk to answer, and let's watch him duck this one, can any progressive in America in good conscience vote for the queen of corruption, Hillary Clinton?
Okay. So, first of all, here we go with loaded questions. So, will you vote for the queen?
Loaded questions? It's a freaking debate. Here we go with the loaded questions. Very valid. Can any real progressive vote for the queen of corruption if your whole thing of progressive values is to get corruption and crony capitalism and crony corruption out of out of the political process? Valid question, but Cenk is back on his heels now, going, let's see, the mental gymnastics are starting to spin around that big old head of his, and he's thinking, how do I get out of this one? Let's see.
Queen of corruption. I can't tell if that question is loaded. When did you stop beating your wife? That's one of those questions. Although, if you go into your divorce records, all right.
So she's not the queen of corruption. This is what I mean by covering for her. She's not the queen of corruption.
No. So I'm going to tell you, look, when you get the general election day, and I get a ton of criticism from Democrats for this, general election day is the least relevant day. Primaries are more important. Fixing the system is more important. Getting a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics is more important. But when you give me a person who I think is systemically corrupt and a monster who is racist, bigoted, and has no earthly idea what the economy is about and might crash the entire global economy, and then if I vote for the person who's systemically corrupt, you go, ha ha, I got you. No, you didn't get me.
Here's what he said. Remember, this is prior to the election, folks. Prior to the election. And this was Cenk the Jenk, right? They're head of a huge social media company, multi-million-dollar social media company. And his punditry, his instincts, right? His journalistic aptitude was to say that if it's a difference between somebody who's corrupt, well, that's a whole lot better than somebody who's a monster, who has no idea what business is about, has no idea about making money, has no idea about how businesses work, has no idea about capitalism. A multi-billionaire, by the way, Donald Trump. This is before the election, and who's going to absolutely crash the economy of the United States and the world economy. Oh, then of course, I got to pick Hillary Clinton. This is the guy, folks, that is debating right now and is telling you to listen to him, because all of his prognostications, all his punditry, all that valuable information, all that progressivism was telling him all of this, that this is what was going to happen. And what happened? The complete freaking opposite, folks. The complete freaking opposite. Hey, I called the election. You can go back and check the tapes. I did it before the election. I did it the night before the election. I called it out. I said a whole bunch of things that Trump was going to do, and almost everything that we basically said came out to be true. You just have to go check the videos and put them against anybody's prognostications and predictions. I'll basically go ahead and put that on the record. Anyways, let's continue and see what Cenk the Jenk has to come up with.
Nominated a monster. It's your fault, not my fault.
Let me, we're coming to the close of our time here, so I've one last question.
Can I just get him on the record in the same way, but without it being loaded? Are you for getting money out of politics?
I would like to see politics. Look, to me, the problem with
I can see where this is going, but let it
Quick
finish.
answer, quick answer.
getting money out of politics, I think, is a stupid phrase. Here's why. Hold on.
Because he likes money in politics.
Hold on a second. No. That's not the reason. People can get involved in politics in different ways. Let's take two guys. One guy who's got a normal job, he works, let's say, 50 hours a week. Another guy who's not working. And they both support opposite candidates. One supports the Republican, one supports the Democrat. Now, the guy who's not working goes, I'll volunteer for 8 hours and will work for my candidate. The guy who has a job goes, I'm going to give 5% of my salary to the candidate I support because I'm working all day. I can't go knock door to doors, but I'm using my money, which is my stored labor, and I'm putting it behind the guy I believe in. Cenk goes, the second guy who's using his money is a corrupt crook. We got to get him out of politics and leave the unemployed guy who's got all the free time. To me, that's not democracy. That's not democracy.
So that's a way of saying liberals are bums who don't work.
No,
that's
no,
a way.
I
And
didn't-
then secondly
I wasn't going
saying,
there.
oh, it's just a plumber giving 5% of his salary. He's working really hard. Ignore the Koch brothers putting $900 million into this campaign.
So let me just pivot to the last.
So anyways, we just got to finish that thing up here. Basically, Dinesh is making a... Look, it's nice. That's what I was saying before. It's so easy to say all these things. They're nice platitudes. They sound so nice. They're great sound bites. We're going to get money out of politics, right? Yes? We need to... Everyone that commits a crime needs to go to jail. We're for, stricter gun laws. It's nice to say those things. But the fact of the matter is, when a lot of people say those kind of things, it's just for the platitudes. It's just to get it's like a PSA, a public service announcement, basically, and you're putting it out there. What Dinesh said at the very end, was it with the two individuals? Why you want to get money out of politics? That means you're depriving me of my constitutional right, my right to give money to a candidate. You've already put that in place. If you know what, and then he goes up with the Cobras, multi-millions. So that's the way the game is played now. You can't get rid of that. What are you going to say? You're going to say the Koch brothers that you can't give your multi-millions? But you can just give, now, I guess you could probably say is that regardless of what that is, but there's always going to be a way that people are they're going to find a way to get around these laws. People are smart. Attorneys and lawyers are smart. They're resourceful. They're going to figure out a way. If you put a cap on it, they're going to figure out a way to get it around. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a great thing, get money out of politics. How much more can we say that thing? Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Let us know what you think below in the comments. And my final thought is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.